Well, as George Floyd's death fuels demonstrations nationwide, it is also sparking renewed conversations about race and racism in America. Joining me now on Skype is Reverend Dean Nelson, Executive Director of the Pro-Life Human Coalition Action. Reverend, welcome to the show. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks so much for the opportunity to be with you.
Well, Reverend, I'd like to start off by getting your reaction to George Floyd's death. What went through your mind when you saw those images?
You know, my heart still goes out, particularly to his family, as well as to any of the people that have been involved with unjust, actions such as that. I was stunned. I was horrified, and to watch that video of George Floyd being killed without concluding that his death was both tragic and the result of an evil act is just unconscionable. Human Coalition has, for the last decade, worked to preserve and to serve those who are most vulnerable. And at the end of the day, this is really a lack of respect for the value of dignity of human life. And racism is, in fact, an assault against human dignity. And so we want to stand with those who are protesting peacefully and to say to America that this is a time that we really should be having open and honest conversations about race.
Yeah, definitely. Well, George Floyd's death has inspired discussions, that is, on race and racism in this country. And I know it's an uncomfortable topic for many to talk about, but unfortunately, it is a harsh reality. How do we address that in ways that everyone can understand?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, we need to give each other a little bit of space to show each other some deference. I know that there's anger from a lot of folks. I have experienced that anger, but recognizing even from the scriptures of St. James that, the anger of man doesn't produce the righteousness of God. I believe that we should be having these conversations, whether it's fathers and mothers at dinner tables with their children. This morning, I was pleased to see police officers and clergy meeting together and praying together. These are meaningful discussions that should be had, and I think that we all, though, need to give each other just a little bit of grace and deference to be able to have these honest and sometimes painful discussions. But my hope is that when we look at each other as humans, I believe that we ultimately can move forward in this struggle.
Reverend, can we talk about the protests that are going on right now around the country? I'd like to get your take on them. And I know that you've said that not all protesters should be painted with the same brush. What exactly did you mean by that?
Yeah, as an advocate for life and for justice, I believe that we should be encouraging people to protest, but to protest peacefully. Yesterday, my 3 children, we prayed over them before they went to Baltimore with their masks, socially distancing, protesting. But that is very, very different from some of the riotous looters who have little regard for life and property that have gone into some of these communities. Many of them outside agitators who have gone in and spray painted buildings, busted out glass, and even given bricks to young people. These are outside people who are trying to create havoc, and I believe that our communities are disserved by those type of, I wouldn't even call them protesters, but those type of agitators who are breaking the law and instigating anger at a time when our country is very vulnerable.
Well, Reverend, thank you so much for coming on today and taking the time to speak with us. We appreciate it. Reverend Dean Nelson, Executive Director of Human Coalition Action. Thank you again, Reverend.
Thank you, and God bless you.